Building the can rotator for the pantry. The wife is always worried about expired foods, and then I'm always trying to find more efficient ways of managing our space. So we come up with this can rotator idea, and first of all, I guess you got to figure out what kind of space you got to work with, right? So I measured out what the depth of the shelf was and then the height. And then I spent a day with the cardboard here, cutting and measuring and trying to make it all work for the cans. You have to figure out your angles for your shelves, and then make sure that you got enough space here that it's going to rotate through. So I made mine for basically, this is the largest can the design is for, and it should also accommodate pop cans, beer cans, and a soup can would be about the same diameter as this, but maybe not as high, maybe up to there. So once I established my blueprint of how this is going to work, then I made a final template here, and I used that to cut my metal. Now you could go down to the local welding shop and have them plasma cut the metal for you, or you can cut it yourself and use a grinder and make these slots, and then all the pieces of the metal will slot in like we have here with the cardboard, and then you just tack it together with the MIG welder or whatever you have, right? So here's our finished design, and what I did was I put this all together, and then I've left this undone because I want to get in there and I want to paint it, and then after I get it all painted inside there, then I can tack weld this front piece on. So the can will come in from the top here, and this is going to be rested at the back. This rests up against the wall. So it'll come down and it'll drop here. There's a little bit of space here from the end to there, give you some room. Drop down, it'll roll forward. It's going to contact this plate that we've removed. So roll forward, it won't go past there, drop down, and then it's gonna roll down and hit the bottom. Now the bottom is the shelf, so it doesn't have an angle on it. So what's pushing the cans forward is basically the more cans you have in the back, push it forward. They will get caught up in there. I've put this in the pantry just to test it out and see how it works. Basically, when the cans are coming through, so what I did was I drilled a hole here. I was going to put a rod through there, and I could still do that. And that's going to be kind of like the limiter kind of thing, right? The idea is it rests up against the rod, and then when these cans move, then it's going to drop down. So I haven't installed that yet, and then back here, I purposely did this to try and maximize the amount of cans that I could fit in here. But what's happening in here with this dead space here, this could actually end up being extended, because what's happening is the can is dropping down into here, and it actually pushes this one up. And so they'll kind of get caught up in the back there. But I've got this space in here from the front, right? There's this space. I did that on purpose too, so that you could, whatever, if you got like some kind of rod or something to push in here to kind of give them a nudge and get them going again. I just use a wooden spoon out of the kitchen. And then in the front here, we've got the little stopper so that it'll stop and it won't roll out. And then here too is this one can't go to the edge. It's got to come back to about here. I actually ended up cutting it to there, so you can get your hand in to scoop that can out. If you don't, you're not going to be able to get your fingers, your hand in there to get that can out of there. So this is what I'm talking about, getting your hand in to scoop the can out. So it rests up against the stopper there. You got just enough finger room to pull it up over the stopper. Also too, if you stick your spoon in here, or you're nudging these things enough, you'll be able to push the cans will push, and they'll actually push it over the stopper. So installed, it ended up being the cans will probably rest to about there, which gives you some space. And it turned out not bad. I would do a few modifications to maybe make it just a little bit better, but it's functional, and I think it's going to serve its purpose for us. Here's the finished result of the can rotator. We painted everything on the inside there, and then we tacked on this front plate, and then put some more paint on, and it's all ready to be installed. What I would do if I was to do this again, because this is 24 inches wide, and it's a little bit heavy and awkward, I would probably want to put some handles or something on the ends, just make it a little easier to deal with. I'm not going to do that now. I'd have that plasma cut with the rest of the plates when I got it made from our welding shop. So and then the other modification here might be to extend this plate out a little bit so the cans don't get jammed up in the back bottom there. But that's all dependent on the amount of space you have to work with, and that's why I had that cut back so the can would fall out, and also to try and maximize my amount of cans there. So yeah, so food for thought there for anybody who wants to build something similar.